We are exposing the truth on Kody Brown's first 3 marriages because, oh my god, you guys, they are weird. Here is the deal, y'all. I got the Sister Wife book that came out quite a while ago, and in this book, they each share their side to how they met and how the family came together, and oh my god, the first 3 wives stories are unbelievable. Here is the deal. We have to go back to Mary. When Mary and Kody met, they had by far the most normal relationship, and how they met and how everything went down. It wasn't as strange as everyone else. We'll get more into them in a second, but Kody and Mary, they met young, they were friends, they ended up kind of dating, they dated, they got married. There was really nothing to it, you know, there wasn't nothing too crazy. The only thing about them that was kind of weird was they were incredibly irresponsible. I think that kind of goes back more to Kody more so than Mary, because we see Mary now, either she was, you know, irresponsible back then and now she's just matured, or it was kind of just Kody's doing. Because, like, if they had to go somewhere for a couple weeks or a couple months or whatever, they would just quit their job and then just go, you know, do what they gotta do. Then they'd come back and just get a different job. Like, they were incredibly irresponsible. Apparently, they were constantly throwing parties. Nothing too surprising at all with Kody. Nothing against him. But Mary, kind of shocking. But either way, that wasn't even that big of a deal. Then Christine came along as a friend and introduced another one of her friends to be friends with Mary and Kody. Now, if you don't know, I posted a video based off of a Soap Dirt article last week, and this was on this story, how Christine introduced, you know, Kody and Mary to this young person. She was a legitimate teen. I think she was like 17 years old, which is just like, oh my god, Kody. But I think Christine kind of just thought, because Christine definitely was into Kody, she wanted to be with Kody, and supposedly she just thought, you know, they were going to be friends, nothing would come out of it. But once Kody met this teen, he was like head over heels in love, smitten. He was all for her, and they were literally going to get married. It was a done deal. Then this woman ended up actually canceling the whole thing and just ending it with Kody, and then that was it. But here's where it gets really weird, because if you don't already know, Christine was not the second wife. No. It was Janelle. This is where it just makes you want to shake your head and just say, how? How, universe? How could something be this strange and this weird? And how are the sister wife family so just weird? So what happened was they met Janelle. If you don't know how they met Janelle, Janelle was at Kody and Mary's wedding. And if you don't know how, it's because she was married to Mary's brother. You know, that was on the show. It's been talked about. People know, so it's that wasn't the big deal. The weird thing is this: she was at the wedding. They were on the verge of divorce. They might have been separated at that point, but either way, she still went to the wedding. She was friendly with them. After she got, you know, divorced from Mary's brother, she became like actual friends, keyword just friends though, with Kody and Mary. Like, they were all just friends. Kody even said he never thought anything of her. He was interested in her, and he thought that she, you know, her intellectually was really good, but nothing else. They were just friends. Apparently, she was even working at like a temp agency, and she got Kody a job, and she being Janelle. So it's like they were just friends. Nothing was going on. Then Kody ended up inviting Janelle over to his dad's ranch in, I think, Wyoming. And yeah, she ended up going, but her mom heard the news and I apparently freaked out and said, I don't want you being so close to the polygamy and whatnot, so I'm going to go with you. I don't know. See, that part doesn't make much sense to me though, because it's like you were just married to a guy. Like, Mary's parents, they were polygamous. So it's like, what? That really doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why she did that, but either way, she ended up going to Kody's ranch, Janelle's mom, with Janelle and Kody and Mary. And then that's when Janelle's mom met Kody's dad and fell in love with him. And by the end of the trip, they were like madly in love. And Kody's dad, before they got to that trip, just married his second wife. And guess, who do you think his third wife ended up being? Yeah, drum roll please, it was Janelle's mom. So like, that in itself is just, how is this possible? Number one, what are the odds? Number two, how are these people so crazy? Number three, what is going on with Kody and Kody's everything? These people are so persuasive that they can get people just to marry them like that. So one thing led to another. There really was never this huge connection, and it was kind of a disaster. But Kody, it was like the intellectual thing of Janelle just made him really interested in Janelle, and he was kind of hinting here and there, still when they were just friends, but he made a couple comments, like supposedly one time he said, like, you know, what if you and me, you know, tried like just you and me, and then she just kind of laughed, like nothing really came of it, but he was trying little things. One thing led to another. I don't know who, when, where, or how, but Janelle, Mary, and Kody were hanging out one night. Janelle told Mary, can you give me and Kody a second? She said, I just think I need to be in your family. And that's when I kind of go back to the delusion. She supposedly kind of fell in love more so with polygamy than Kody. Her words, not mine. She said she just loved the idea behind polygamy and this and that, and she loved it. Okay, so that was her thing, you know, and she was so into that, she ended up eventually marrying Kody, and very quickly, once they got engaged, they apparently got engaged the night that she said that she thinks she should be in Kody's family. Yeah, kind of a mouthful. But after that, they got engaged, and very quickly after, they got married. I guess in the polygamous, you know, religion, you go real quick from engagement to married because they're technically already married to another woman, and it's not like appropriate. I have no idea why that'd be the case, but that's what I've heard. So they real quick, bang, bang, boom, got married, you know, Janelle and Kody, and of course, what do you think happened? It was off to an awful, rocky start. Mary and Kody were in love. That probably sounds hard to hear now saying their relationship, but back in the day, they were madly in love. Janelle, I just don't think she even said it. She had a friendship with Kody, nothing more. Kody even said it too. He was really attracted to her intellectually, and that was it. So they had a friendship for the first year or so. It was not really going anywhere. And to make matters worse, Janelle and Mary were constantly fighting. So right off the bat, they just had an awful, god-awful, rocky relationship with the three of them. And then this is where Christine comes in. Now, this is where also Christine's a complete liar, because we've seen it in the book, we've heard from a million people, first off, Christine was obsessed with Kody. She loved Kody. She wanted to be the second wife. She wanted to marry Kody. She probably would have been his first wife. And so when she met him, she was trying to go after him and whatnot. And so supposedly when she introduced that young friend she had to Kody, and Kody tried to end up marrying her, she was super upset and mad and not happy. So for Christine to run around and say, I wanted to be, his third wife. I wanted to be a third wife. Oh, come on, get out of here. And so that's how Christine starts her little section in this book, is she says, I wanted to be a third wife always. And she has reasoning. I don't think it's true, but she did have reasoning. Her reasoning was this. The first wife, she had some stupid reasoning. Something was wrong with the first wife. Okay, oh no, you know what it was? The first wife is constantly introducing the other wives. What? Okay, the second wife has to be trying to fight and keep up and kind of make her way with the first wife. And that is actually somewhat true, because that's exactly what happened with Janelle. Janelle couldn't really find her way. She felt like she was a third wheel with Mary and Kody because they were actually in love, and she was kind of just blah. So that is relatively some truth to it. But the third wife, she claims, just mellows everything out, smooths everything over, and makes everything happy. And that's kind of actually what happened. However, before that happened, a ton of crap happened, because Kody, like I said, he never liked Christine. He basically admitted it. He even said at one point, which is horrible and disgusting to repeat, but at one point when they were hanging out, she was eating a bunch of nachos or something like that. And Christine is by no means fat. She's not fat. She's not heavy. She's nothing. But Kody said she was chunky, and she was stuffing her face and inhaling these. And I was like, oh my God, it's this guy. And I'm sure he thought he was being hilarious, and he probably thought he was being all funny. But it's for the love of God, Kody, you are rude. He is an awful person, and I just cannot stand him. So he was, talking like that. He was never very interested. After the person that Christine introduced, she fell through, then he married Janelle, then he ended up, for whatever reason, going back to Christine. I have no idea why, but he did. But he even admitted that, before the wedding, literally on the day of, when Christine was walking down, he thought he was making a huge mistake. He didn't think he was going to go through with it. He didn't want to do it. And the issues were just basically, okay, him and Mary were having some issues. He was having a hard time to support the family. Janelle was having a baby. She was having issues with Mary. There's a lot of issues going on. And it finally, dawned on the guy on the day of the wedding, literally when she was walking down the aisle, that, ooh, I maybe shouldn't have just taken on a third wife. But they went through with it. They got married. However, Kody didn't even plan a honeymoon. It's why? Okay, why do people stay with this guy? Seriously. He's just a jerk. But yes, they got married, and Christine even admitted it took exactly to the T. She said, 1 year exactly for her and Kody to truly fall in love, because there wasn't any chemistry there. They were just friends at absolute best, and apparently after a year, they fell in love, which that to me just says, okay, no. What actually happened was it took a year, and Kody finally fell for you. I think Christine has been into Kody forever and ever and ever. I don't know why, but that's just the case. So, oh my God, talk about rocky, and that's that's just the tip of the iceberg because so much more stuff actually did truly happen before, you know, they even got on TV. This is just a little bit of it, but it's insane. Like, the stuff with Mary and him, pretty normal. The irresponsible stuff, it's not shocking at all. But the stuff with Janelle, you know, every little thing with her, and then that her mom actually married Kody's dad, like, that is just bizarre. And the fact that they were just friends and everything, just absolutely insane, so bizarre. Why did she marry him? That's why I don't understand. Like, she even admitted they didn't have, like, a real relationship thing. They were just friends. Why did Janelle marry him? And then the thing with Christine is just absolutely bizarre, and it's crazy to me. Basically, it was like she always liked him for whatever reason, and Kody never liked her, and he got so desperate and married her. So I don't know why she ever went to him. It's like, do you have zero self-worth, really? Because clearly he hadn't liked you before, probably doesn't like you now. So just insane. I can't believe this guy. I don't even know what else to say. I just couldn't believe this stuff from the book and wanted to share with you guys. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm at a loss of words, so please make sure to comment below what you guys think of Kody. I feel like just about everyone agrees that Kody's he's got a big one of these, never shuts up, and he's just, you know, kind of just a weirdo. I don't know, but I don't know one person, I'll tell you that right now, and I read most of my comments. I have never seen a comment, not in a long time, that was positive for Kody, because Kody, he's just like a jerk. He's not nice. So yeah, not a fan. Do not like Kody, and I hate to be rude and negative, but it's like, oh my god, he is just an idiot. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Tap that like button, hit the comments below, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.